basically they told me to say that I have the rules to the Earth game, the main Earth game. Okay, the secondary Earth games, like say secondary, but you know, like you go into a game of Zelda, the main game is Zelda, and inside the game you can play one of those games 100 times. Like I'm going to use an example. What kind of video game has little side quests? There's one that has this weird little sumo game that I used to play all the time, and it was a little side quest in the game. You go to a video game in the game. There's an arcade, and you go to one of the games, and it has a game on it. You can play the little mini game, a sumo guys, and you can play it over and over and over and over again and get the best score, and play it over and over and over again. So like that game is an example of what life is. Life is just a huge physical version of that, not a virtual, physical version. But we call it physical, but it's also virtual with the attachment of pain and emotions. The physical result of emotions, because you have emotions without a physical body in the astral. That's why you still are emotional and attached, because you still have an emotional body but not a physical body. So your emotional body is one step below the full astral. Then the full astral is the level where you can start playing the game and know that you're fully the astral being. But the astral, the fully astral, is a low level where they don't know exactly that they're where they come from, where they're going, and at the same time they're still a little rascalian. They still don't know the answers. Like me as a human being, I don't know the answers, and I'll never know the answers of the Earth game until I go to the next level of the game. I can never expect to, until I learn to word my questions right, say the right things, and meet the right people who have the other pieces to fill my puzzle in, and that don't say, hey, I said that. Be like, yes, because you were supposed to say it to me. We were supposed to fill each other's puzzles in, because we are the same person, filling in the same puzzle. Like playing the whole game of Zelda and doing everything and getting all the items and getting all the side quests is something I've always done. It's sort of funny that I've always done that, and that's something that I'm doing in life. I'm filling out all the side quests of this game. So from the original full astral, from there, you can play a game from the astral where you take on Earth. You play the Earth game. You can play a different game from every spectrum, from the dimensional level of astral. You can play the spectrum of the bacterial game on Earth. You can play the bacterial game on Pluto. You can play the whatever they're called in those dialogues in those places. Like different planets have different dialogues. Everything has different dialogues, because there are beings that are there doing their thing in their way, but they know what they are, because they don't have free will. They agree to go into a game. Like you agree to ride a water. It can be fun. Like you agree to ride a slide, right? And some people sit up, some people cross their arms, some people go down it like, oh, sort of scared before they do and then love it. Some people didn't like it. They bumped around too much and get a headache. Some people, like, it depends on what they're looking for and how they react to it. Every person is different. They're like, oh, they're just sensitive. They're just this way. They're just whatever. Well, that's what they made up. So yes, that's true. But at the same time, it's not. They can change their character anytime they truly find out that they're a character in a game. Like right now, I have so many things to say, but I need to sleep. So from that astral level, you can play this game. But as that game starts, in the astral, there's no up, down, left, right, forward, backwards, levels, 1, 2, 3, like that. This is numbers we made up here too. But we represent numbers because numbers are a way we represent symbols. And symbols and things are the ways we represent physical or waves and particles and frequencies and things like that. We have to give them names to explain them. But they're also something else different than that. Numbers don't exist everywhere. There's some planes where numbers exist, but there's some planes where numbers don't. But in these planes of the astral that don't quite know exactly what's going on, just like here in the physical, some people can start to get to know what's going on but don't quite know what's going on in the astral until they really explore the astral. And they realize that that world is something so much bigger than this, that's so big you can't experience it in a lifetime. But what's cool is time doesn't exist there, so you can't experience it in this lifetime. You can experience multiple lifetimes in this lifetime in those states of the astral. So from that point, you can play a game where you agree before you go into it that you don't know that you know you're playing. So you get out of the human game on Earth, because the human game with free will is the only one that had this clause where you have free will. So when you die, having to have forgotten when you died and gone back. That's why the older you get, the more disconnected you get. You get scared as you get older because you get so disconnected. As you're younger, you love life, and it goes slower, and time doesn't seem to make sense. But as you get older, time speeds up, because as you get older, you start getting scared, and you start resenting and not understanding what the hell it's all about, and knowing that you don't know, but not wanting to admit it. Well, I'm explaining that all for you right now. So that level of the astral, you can play a game where when you're done, you don't know you were playing a game. So that way you go into the astral fresh and new again, and it becomes fun. You're doing this because it's fun. You play things for a thrill. All the stuff and all the violence is there for a thrill, to teach you a lesson, so you can either do it or not do it. So either you can choose to or not to. We'll either blow up or we won't blow up. It hurts for a second. You pop in and out. You die over and over and over and over. Dying is the easiest thing that we do. Somebody's quoted that said that, so that's not originally something I came up with. But somebody's quoted to say, dying is the easiest thing we do, and that's definitely true. It's so true. But anyway, I love you guys, and I need to go to sleep. Peace. Love everything. Love everyone. Good night.